Well, our latest edition of Streets Won't Forget focuses on Nigerian legend Jay-Jay Okocha, whose skill made him a fan favorite from Europe to Africa. And in 546 career club appearances, he had 108 goals. He captained Bolton to the 2004 League Cup final, and in 73 caps for Nigeria, he had 14 goals. And in 1994, he won AFCON and won 2004 AFCON Best Player. Nico, why is this guy a guy that the streets won't forget? The streets won't forget, guys. It's players who maybe went under the radar, and we want to give them the love that they deserve, the respect that they deserve.
Yeah, I don't know if Jay-Jay Okocha went under the radar ultimately. And for how good he was, I think he's a little bit above a Streets Won't Forget, but he didn't win that many titles overall in his career, but he has two that are crazily significant. Against Argentina in the Olympics, it's a gold medal against Argentina. That is huge in 1992. In 96, excuse me, in Atlanta. I'm confusing the one in Barcelona. And then the AFCON, right, in 94. I was after Jay-Jay Okocha mostly. I was too young to really remember, but it feels like anytime you talk to not only a Nigerian, but someone of African descent, and you say Nigeria, he is synonymous with Nigeria. And I think a couple of more trophies would have been a deserved representation of how good this guy was.
So you brought up the graphic with the goals and stuff. The best part about Jay-Jay Okocha, the goals do not encapsulate his game. What he did with the ball, the way that he moved, how special, the emotions you feel watching this guy play. This is why he should be a Streets Don't Forget, just because, literally, he cannot be forgotten. Not to do the kids today or whatever, right? There needs to be highlight reels all the time on social media, on YouTube. This guy was so special. Like you said about the 96 Olympics, they won gold. They beat Brazil in the semifinals. Look at that team. They had R9. They had all these stars. Beat Argentina in the gold medal match. And look at all that team. Those were legitimate legends of the game. In those, Nigeria came out on top.
And I think, to your point, in some ways, this is kind of perfect for 2025. He is a TikTok, Instagram Reels, YouTube dream. Those highlight reels, a lot of those clips we saw was the same highlight reel that I watched. And in some ways, I think this is kind of the perfect Streets Won't Forget player, because it's not for, you mentioned the big international wins, but it's not because of this illustrious club career or because he did things on this big stage. Realistically, this legend is built off the back of his 4 years at Bolton Wanderers, which ultimately was at the very end of his career. And he just had so many of these flair moments. And I imagine at the time, it must be like, who is this? Who is this player? And what is he doing all the time? So Okocha is absolutely synonymous with that sort of skill level, with that, I think in some ways what a lot of people feel is missing from the game now.
The profile of player that is Jay-Jay Okocha we're losing right now in the modern game. It is being stifled. We've had this conversation on Morning Footy before, that it's a lot more about the system than the individual, and this guy didn't care. He'd take you on. He'd pop the ball over you, a step over here to throw you off, hit a free kick, hit the best pass, figure it out somehow with so much natural, raw creativity.
And personality.
That I feel like we're losing nowadays. When was the last time you saw somebody like that in the Prem really thrive?
He has a move named after him. He has a skill named after him, as he should, the Okocha role. Like, he's iconic.
Let's take a look at what Ronaldinho had to say about Okocha. He said, Jay-Jay Okocha, wow, that man made the football. Listen to him. At training, we would watch him doing a freestyle. Whatever he wanted the ball to do, the ball would do it. And you guys agree with this?
I mean, that's Ronaldinho saying that about you. I mean,
how can you argue with the man?
Who cares what I have to say when Ronaldinho is saying that about you? And that's who this player is. This player is someone who, it might not even, the productivity, he had 14 goals in 4 seasons at Bolton. He went a whole season without scoring. It doesn't matter an iota. It's about, ultimately, what we love about football is you pay a ticket, you show up to the stadium, there's some kind of entertainment happening. This guy entertained every single time you sat down in a stadium and watched him play.
You said we're losing a little bit of the type of player that he was. But is there anyone that kind of reminds you of him now? It's hard to think of someone.
It's difficult. It's so unique. This is often a question that we pose ourselves when we do Streets Won't Forget, but it is strange to find somebody in the modern game that emulates what a Jay-Jay Okocha is doing, because it was so unique to him and that era of football that I would love to see a player nowadays with that start and stop, and not so much speed. There's this obsession with intensity now that is taking away from what Jay-Jay Okocha used to do.
Yeah, for me, it's about defending, right? It's you mentioned intensity. It's about defensive intensity. If you don't bring it, you can't play in the modern game. But there was room in a bygone era for players who just did their thing creatively.
Game's gone, mate. We need more Jay-Jay Okochas. That's what we need.
Basically, the conclusion is that no one can replicate what this man did in the world of football.